Willkommen zurück bei Zodiac Trial. Im letzten Part ist das Ritual leider fehlgeschlagen und es sind 3 neue Leichen aufgetaucht. Der verbrannte Ochs und jetzt auch Horse und Bunny, die zuerst für den Tod an Ochs beschuldigt wurden, dann gefesselt wurden und nun ist Horse tot und Bunny ist verschwunden, aber wahrscheinlich auch tot. Jetzt müssen wir herausfinden, wer war es. Und Doc hat einen wichtigen Punkt gebracht, und zwar: Bunny wurde wahrscheinlich entführt oder weggeschleppt, damit wir glauben, dass er der Killer ist. Aber warum nicht Horse? Denn das würde viel mehr Sinn machen. Wir werden sehen. So. What could the explanation be? So, no, can we go tell the others? I thought some more about the ritual. How perfect a crime it was. Well, how well it was set up. And yet, how amateurish certain elements of it felt. That contrast. If the killer wasn't Horse and it wasn't Bunny, there had to be someone else who could have poured oil on Ox and lit him on fire. Think about the setup. There was one place I'd need to check in order to uncover the full truth of this incident. Oh, okay. Okay, was war wichtig? Wichtig war, dass, das Ritual ging so. Ich musste an einem bestimmten Ort sitzen. Daneben musste Ox sitzen. Das heißt, der Platz war sicher. Ich glaube, below the body macht keinen Sinn. Was heißt überhaupt the body? Also den Körper von Ox jetzt genau oder welchen Körper? Ich würde sagen above vielleicht? Ja, genau. Okay, weil below macht keinen Sinn für mich persönlich, weil somewhere else in the room, ein bisschen sehr unpräzise. Ich glaube above the body. Vielleicht war über dem Platz von Ox irgendwas festgemacht. If Horse didn't throw oil on Ox, nobody could have. Which means the oil didn't come from a person. It came from the ceiling. Wait, was this conclusion absolutely absurd? Yes. Did I know how it tied in with anything else? No. But when you eliminate the impossible, that's all that's left, however improbable, is the truth. I guess. Honestly, the moment I got to work, I started to feel a little dumb. But there just wasn't time to hesitate. There were clues pointing to this conclusion. I just had to trust my instincts and follow this lead through. And so, I pulled over the desk, climbed on it, and looked up at the ceiling tiles. Sure enough, there was one directly above where Ox has been sitting. And wouldn't you know it, looking closely, I looked at 3 of its 4 sides were already broken off. I reached up, and with a simple push, I was able to loosen the tile. I swung down, only holding one on by a single side, and to both my surprise and delight, on the other side of a tile I saw oil stains. Oil had definitely been poured on top of this tile at some point. I poked my head around a bit more, and I thought I saw something sitting up in the area above the ceiling tiles. I reached around and pulled down what ended up being a speaker. A speaker? Ich würde sagen, weil... Ja doch, ja. Weil ich weiß doch, während der Zeremonie, also während des Rituals, da meinte Maus zu sagen, ich höre Musik, aber es hört sich an, als würde es von über uns kommen. Und das macht Sinn. It looked like the type a high schooler would keep. Perhaps in a locker? Hooked up to it was some sort of MP3. Oh mein Gott, Rooster hat einen MP3-Player. Das wissen wir von unserem letzten Playthrough. I looked around the speaker some more and noticed that there was a slot on it. A slot that could perhaps hold a portable remote? Okay, just one more thing to confirm. I took out the MP3 and looked at the songs. Sure enough, this one that was playing on loop matched a song that had previously been playing during the ritual. With this, all the mysteries had been solved. The way in which Ox met his end had been illuminated to me. And there was exactly one person who had the opportunity to set all of this up. That's the whodunit. And the howdunit. The why done it I was still unsure of. But generally, the culprit got to supply it themselves. For now, there was a bigger issue. Think about it carefully. From this position, that person's next step should be... Dog, quickly! Do you know where Dragon and Rooster went to look? Dragon and Rooster, huh? I thought I saw the pair head towards the hallway on the second floor. Why? What's wrong? A lot. Find Tiger as soon as possible and get her to come to the second floor. I'll do what I can in the meantime. This is urgent, Doc. Do you understand me? Copying loud and clearly. I'll put some pep into my step. Das bringt was nicht. Doc and I ran out of the classroom and split up. I could only hope I would get there in time. I ran down the second floor, through the hallway, towards where I hoped they would be. I glanced in classroom after classroom until I finally saw the scene I was looking for. Dragon, on the floor, with her fist clenched and looking pissed as hell. Standing above her was Rooster, holding his silenced pistol, aiming it at her. It seemed as though I had made it just in time. Without a second thought, I bolted into the classroom. Rooster, stop! Oh, Mouse, good thing you're here. You can help me with this. Wait, what? How with what? Continue, of course. I was minding my own business and all of a sudden you attacked me. Good thing I found this discarded gun in the hallway a little bit ago. Oh, I'd really be screwed. The hell? That's not how it went at all. I was the one just minding my own business before he just up and attacked me for no good reason. Mouse, I'm the victim here. You gotta believe me. I know, Dragon. You do? I do. Hey, what's that? You really don't trust me, Mouse? I did, Rooster, until I put it all together. Put it together? Mouse, you're being awfully vague right now. Mind letting me on whatever big revelations you've had? Okay, I will. Rooster, you're the one who killed Ox. You also killed Bunny and Horse. The hell? Is this right? Honestly, I could hardly believe it either. Could Rooster, that moronic, pompous douchebag, pull off something as ruthless and calculated as this? It completely went against my image of him. But this is where all the evidence led me to. From here, I could only let my logic guide me. Interesting hypothesis, Mouse. Loving your energy. You're only portraying the misguided vigilant oral hero. Nice stance, no addiction. Ever considering acting? You think I'm acting right now? Well, I think you're acting out of line. Heyo! Rooster. Look, okay, I get it. You're like a detective or whatever. That's a shtick. That's a cool shtick. I love your shtick. But you gotta pick a time and place for it. There are cool times to use the shtick and lame times to use it. Just as a handy guide. Cool times to use detective shtick, accusing commoners, pointing at people walking away from a bomb. Lame times to use the detective shtick, accusing me being a racist. What? Then just give you a quick rundown. Rooster, I beg of you, please let me do my explanation. Oh, you were trying to start a monologue? Then by all means, go ahead, floor is yours. Thank you. As I was saying, Rooster, you're the one who rigged Ox's death trap. You broke the ceiling tile above where he was going to sit. You broke 3 sides of it, so that it would dangle down. Then you placed some kid's speakers up in the ceiling, set the music on the MP3 to be real creepy, and took the remote for it. You poured a decent amount of oil on the tile, and then you delicately set it up where it was sitting safely. Flash forward to the actual ritual. The person who turns on the music is you. Depending on where you put that remote, you could probably hit play without needing a free hand. Then, when Horse was up to do his thing, you cranked up the volume drastically. Then sudden vibration on the ceiling made the tile come loose, spilling the oil all over Ox. To get it so that the tile would come loose at the volume, you might have practiced it a few times before spilling the oil on the tile. Regardless, right after the oil had fallen to Ox, you threw a statically charged something at Ox. I can't even begin to guess exactly what it was, but whatever it was, it worked. Ox was lit on fire, everyone panicked and fled. And in that darkness and brightness and chaos, nobody even noticed when you knocked the tile back up to the ceiling as you fled. Judging by the positioning in the circle, you had been one of the people in the back of the room, so there weren't really eyes on you since everyone else had already fled. You know, I totally could have done all that. I mean, some might say something stupid like, "Hey Rooster, how'd you have time to set any of that up when Mouse was watching?" But they underestimated my speed. See, the key was when you wandered down that hallway in the drainage room. Again, I beg you to shut up. Mouse, savage. Rooster, the reason you were able to pull something this ridiculously off is because you set the stage for it perfectly. That ritual was perfect for you. Turning off the lights, supplying the weapons, guaranteeing where everyone would be seated with precision accuracy. But on the other hand, there were a number of things weird about it. Why was this the only note written in blood? Would Brian really give us a task that could just let us skip the rest of the game? Why change up the order of where everyone sat? It all makes sense if you assume that the whole thing was nothing more than your script. Also, now I'm giving Brian the orders. Not at all. You simply found it safe first. You searched your contents, emptied them, then planned to use the safe to your own ends. You needed to make it believable, which is why you put the needle in the safe, and a needle you probably got from the nurse office, and why you made it sound like such a cryptic ritual. And then, once everything was set up, you waited for Mark to discover the ritual with you, and act as your alibi up until that point. Making use of our blind faith in whatever we find in the safe. Clever stuff, I've gotta say. However, even you couldn't disguise it perfectly. All the other notes were printed out, but you couldn't copy that. Which is why you went with the next best thing, a note written in blood. If dramatic enough, we could convincingly think that the difference was no more than mere artistic license. But where'd you get the blood? I bet if we were to give you a body check, we'd find that you're hiding a wound. If you really wanted to fill me up, Mouse, all you had to do was ask politely. But wait, you said you also kept budding at heart. What's the story on that? Yes, you wouldn't know about that yet, would you, Dragon? Horse and Bunny have both been killed. Of course you wouldn't get that right away by looking at the scene. Bunny went missing, while Horse was shot through the head. Probably with the pistol Rooster is currently holding. But you just hit Bunny's corpse, didn't you, Rooster? At first, I was curious why you went about things like that. However, thinking about it a little bit more, I realized it needed to be done. Horse was an incredibly dangerous opponent, even tied up like he was. If it was just a matter of killing both, then it wouldn't have been a problem. However, if you shot both, the blood would have given it away, and you couldn't pin your crimes on an escapee. You had to strangle the person you didn't shoot, and strangling Horse seemed a very iffy proposal. Also, he'd break the chair apart before you could choke him out. So when you walk in the room, you started by shooting Horse. Then you untie the rope from his body, so you can use it to strangle Bunny. After that, you untie Bunny's corpse and drag it into some nearby hiding spot, perhaps in some closed classroom. Now tell me, Dragon, did Rooster ever leave your side during the search? Yeah, now that you mention that, he died. He went to use the restroom. I didn't think much of it at the time, so I just let him go. But think about it, you were using the time to kill us too, weren't you, bastard? Rooster's departure from Dragon would naturally have come out in the questioning after the bodies were discovered, which is why Rooster planned on cleaning up loose ends before that happened. You planned on killing Dragon here, and coming up with some story about Bunny attacking Dragon before fleeing, weren't you? That's why he attacked you, Dragon. You only think that's the reason, Mouse? Right. And the reason I killed the others, what, is because I have the desperate personality and want to survive by myself? Is that not the case? Truthfully, I had been thinking to myself, were that the case, Rooster's actions would have been rather strange. Alright, let's cut the crap, Mouse. In that moment, I realized I hadn't been giving Rooster enough credit. He really was a talented actor. You know, you're only a smart girl. I'm impressed, really, that you figured out so much. But it looks like you didn't figure out the why out. How could you? Let me be clear. All of this, wasn't driven by Brian. If anything, I should be grateful to Brian. He gave you a chance for revenge. Revenge? The thing made Bunny and Horse suspected haphazardly. Do you think I parted with the dragon on a whim? Everything I've done till now has been to get revenge on the 4 people who ruined my life. Rooster, what are you talking about? You know, I came from a rich family. I could have guessed that much. Came from a rich family. I charmed men's words. It was nice. A charmed existence. You know what was great about being wealthy? I wasn't living in a mansion, having nice food. You tire of those things awfully quickly. No. What's great is the freedom it provides. When I realized my calling in life, I knew what to do. My parents paid for acting classes, took me to see movies, set me up perfectly. I was in control of my life. I could do what I wanted without interruption, until my damned conscience got in the way. See, my parents were always influential in politics. I never quite saw eye to eye with them on many things, but I learned to turn my head. But lately, they were making stranger and worse decisions than before, using the influence in ways I had larger disagreements with. And eventually, it became too much. There was a set of legislations that empowered the police in the city massively, expanded the force they could use, gave them wider access to methods of surveillance, allowed restrictions needed for warrants. The laws were horrible, flagrantly disrespected human rights. Yeah, I remember those laws. They passed. You can thank the generous support from my parents for that. Well, that was the tipping point. I had enough. Me and my parents got in a huge blowout fight over the matter. Before I knew it, I was kicked out, disinherited, and penniless. From heaven to hell, just like that. Wait, you got in an argument with your parents and they cut you out of their life? I said they were generous parents, not that they were caring. There's a difference. After living a good for so long, to fall so low, to go from living with complete freedom to being at the mercy of society. You don't know how it feels to survive the whiplash. You're right, I don't. The fox is going to do with anything. But gallantly, I survived. I kept pushing. In the face of it all, I pursued my dream of becoming a lead actor. And slowly but surely, that dream progressed. I'll admit, it has been a thorny path so far. But it has honestly begun to pick up steam. I thought I could move past the chapter of my life. But I never forgot what brought me there. I never stopped wondering why my parents would do that, what they did. For all the flaws, I went bad people. So I kept pestering them about it. One drunken phone call from my mother later, I got the real story. I knew who to actually be mad at. See, my parents never actually wanted to support that insidious bill. They were just being blackmailed to do that. Turns out some people in higher places had gotten some material on them. Long story short, they were under the thumb of higher powers. Higher powers? The city's rotten mouse. It's empty at its core. I can't say I know everything, but there's something big at play. A huge blackmailing scheme with most of the city's power players wrapped up in it. The police were suspicious. Darum Bunny. They stormed into Amadeus Bones' office on the day of his murder. They were always suspicious of my story. You want to know the real reason I was there? It's because I was looking for documents that would provide his connections to the blackmailing ring. You mean Amadeus Bone was involved in the ring? Involved? he was one of the kingpins. Though I guess you can blackmail people for so long before it bites you in the ass. Anyways, when I was at his office, I thought that he had contracted a construction worker for some private business. Construction worker, that's his horse. By construction worker, do you mean horse? Exactly. Turns out the big old thug was a Bones payroll. Probably did his dirty work if I had to guess. I followed Morris' trail closely, and the thing also stunk to high heaven. Why wouldn't it? Clearly the others involved with the blackmailing ring wanted to hide certain elements of the murder. Ox! From what I could tell, the main prosecutor of the case and the chief officer handling the case both had to be unnoted. Also Ox schon mal. Bunny and Ox. Exactly. Horse, Bunny, Ox. All 3 of them are agents to the city's darkest underside. They were just responsible for my rough years. Burnt. My parents grieved, but countless other injustices and evils. So when presented with the perfect opportunity, how could I pass it up? Who other than I would take this opportunity to right the world of these evildoers with? So that was your plan. Erase anyone connected with the blackmailing with this blackmailing ring? Exactly. Initially, I wasn't planning on doing anything. Just focusing on my own survival was good enough. Don't get involved, don't do anything stupid. But the more I thought about it, I soon realized now was my only chance. The chaos and darkness of this race will erase what happens here. The truth will be written by the survivors. Okay. Das erklärt Ochs, Bunny und Horse, aber... okay, passt sogar. So then, where does Dragon fit into all of this? Huh, Dragon! She's the biggest sin of all. Oh yeah? Oh yeah. See? I refer to my parents in the past tense for a reason. They were recently killed in a hit and run. Perhaps it was an accident. More likely a murder. Maybe it has something to do with their recent defections from the blackmailing group. All I know is what I saw. And as a person who was visiting them at the time of the accidents, I saw the person who drove away from the crime scene. I saw Dragon. What the hell? That wasn't me. Yes, it was. When I saw you up close, I recognized you right away. You were definitely the person I saw today. And you must work for the blackmailing too. That's why you did what you did. You crazy son of a bird. You're lying. I haven't killed anyone. You're lying about this whole thing. Listen, Mouse. This guy's just selling one big story to cover his ass and get sympathy from you. You really gonna stand here and listen to this? Mouse, I realize what this might look to you. I know I've been deceiving you. I know I've killed 3 people already. But knowing what I've told you, can you really say I'm wrong? Look me in the eye and tell me that these people don't deserve to die. That we wouldn't be doing the world a service by getting rid of them. I'm not the villain here, Mouse. I'm the hero. You're the psychotic bastard is what you are. Mouse fucking decked us full. I stood there frozen. I took in everything I heard. Oh! Oh nein, nein, oh nein, ich weiß, was ich tun soll. Oh nein. Oh, eine große Entscheidung muss getroffen werden. Oh nein, oh nein, oh nein. Aber das machen wir erst im nächsten Part. Denn ich glaube, ich muss hier mehrere Optionen durchgehen und es könnte dauern vielleicht. Von daher bedanke ich mich fürs Zugucken und bis nächstes Mal. Tschüss.